Come on, buddy. Come on, Suraj. 2 more moves. Come on. Come on. 1 more move. Come on. Move those feet. Lock it in. Lock it in. Lock it in. Make this move. He's never fallen there before.
The reason I climb is to experience a kind of connection. It's a connection with other people, my climbing partners, and the people I go climbing with, and the friendships that you build through sometimes literally holding each other's lives in your hands. And then it's the relationship with the landscape and the invitation to learn more about that landscape down to the most minute, embodied, visceral detail, all the way up through the history and everything that transpired on that land. Finally, it's the connection that you find with yourself, discovering the linkage between my body and my mind through the practice of moving over rock. The Oppositional Defiance Disorder was a very specific climb to get ready for. It's not exactly logistically convenient, let's just say. It's a 5-hour drive, not close to much of anything else. There's no other routes up there on that wall. It's on this 2-tiered wall. It's called the Tsunami Wall because it's basically this big slab with this overhanging panel perched on top of it. There are these twin cracks that it's just enough to climb. It went unrepeated for almost 15 years after Peter Kamitses did the first ascent. When I went up there to check it out the first time, as I was rappelling down the cliff, I looked out across the vista and I saw my home mountain, Camel's Hump, all the way across the lake in Vermont. And that mountain was directly in the center of my hometown, and I would hike up it as a kid. So it made me feel connected to my family and the place that I grew up. I think one of the biggest takeaways for me is the value of friendship and partnership through climbing and through life, and all of the people who joined me up there at various times, and especially Kristen, who was my primary climbing partner on not just this route, but my next hardest route that I've ever done, called the Wheelin' and Dealin'. I got to team up with her again on this climb, and it was like night and day. The progress, like every session was just a revelation. It's a relationship of trust on so many levels. On the most basic level, you're trusting in your climbing partner's competence. On a deeper, more personal level, you're trusting your climbing partner to be there with you through some vulnerable moments where you feel like a failure, moments where you're struggling, moments where you are making negative progress, and questioning your self-worth. It's quite conducive to forging those deeper friendships. Such a big motivation for me in climbing is the invitation to learn more about a landscape, both through really nitty-gritty details, but also the larger history of that landscape. In the climbing community, that preservation of wilderness, that wilderness ethic, is really celebrated. But what we forget and often fail to see is the histories of dispossession that facilitated access and facilitated that preservation in the first place. That preservation is often predicated on indigenous erasure. Like, a lot of people don't know that before the Adirondacks became a park in 1892, that land was utilized and managed quite sustainably by Haudenosaunee Confederacy, Mohawk people, Mohican people who used it as a shared hunting grounds and used it for medicinal plants and various forms of resource gathering. I think about all the ways I've been taught to respect the land through leave no trace, through minimizing my impact. I find all of that to be extremely important, but I think it can be a bit of a slippery slope as well, because this wilderness preservationist mentality, it subtly reinforces the idea that the wilderness is this space away from humans. It reifies this nature-culture divide that I think has really hurt our reciprocal relationships with the land and with the other peoples who historically have stewarded that land. We need to honor the dignity of the indigenous heritage of these places that we've all grown to love in different ways. Right. Let's climb it. Buddhism, a very particular tradition of Buddhism, was an important influence in my life. It really came into my life at a time that I needed some spiritual guidance. I learned about this form of meditation called Vipassana, which is basically rewiring your brain to respond to external stimuli with equanimity instead of with craving or aversion. Really, that set the stage for my introduction to climbing, because in climbing, I found essentially an embodied practice of Vipassana, of meditation. You have the whole range of sensations, from the highest of highs to the lowest of lows, sometimes when you're, when you're even scared for your life, or you're stuck in a storm up high on a mountain where it literally is life and death, and you have to turn inwards and ask yourself, like, well, how am I going to respond? Am I going to respond with fear? Or am I going to respond with calm, with equanimity, and with love? Those moments, they've shown me who I am on a deeper level. It's priceless. I wouldn't trade those moments for anything. And that's why I find climbing so compelling. There's that worry of I'm not good enough, or I'm not at the level that this route will demand. But in trying harder climbs, that's actually the whole point. I'm not trying to climb the climb to tick the box. I'm climbing the climb because I want that climb to transform me. I want that experience to transform me, and I want to raise myself to the level of that climb.